everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're watching me for the first time, my name is Lizzie. Today I'm going to show you all the behind the scenes of a bridal makeup that I did on my client. So if you want to know how I was able to achieve this look, please stay tuned to see the tips, the process on how to achieve a beautiful bridal glam. So the first thing I did was to use micellar water to remove the dirt and oils from her face. Next up, I went in with an acid toner, and this is definitely just going to moisturize her face and keep the skin clean. Next up, I went in with a sweat block and I used a cotton wool to apply this on her T-zone area and then all over her face basically, but I concentrated more on her T-zone area, which is the forehead, the jaw, underneath the eyes. Next up, I went in with a vitamin C serum, and this is just going to tighten the pores on her face and then just going to hide the black spots on her face, the wrinkles on her face, and basically just going to give me a clean makeup look. Next up, I went in with this bomb moisturizer, and I've been using this for a while and it works perfectly for a bridal glam. If you want to achieve that clean makeup glam, you definitely need this particular moisturizer. It gives the skin a very clean look and rejuvenates the face. Next up, I went in with this aloe vera setting spray, and it's just going to enable the skin to look clean and enable the makeup to last long. Next up, I went in with a Nude glow to give me a glowy makeup look. So what this does is, after you apply your makeup from underneath the skin, the glow will still come out. Like, it will still be obvious that you actually applied glow on the face. It's just going to make the makeup shine better. Next up, I went in with this foundation from V Beauty, and in her exact skin tone, guys, you're going to see how this particular foundation blended properly with her neck. So at the end of the day, this is a bridal makeup and you want something really clean, and you don't want it to look far off from the color of her neck. So that's what you want to do. And I had to use a damp beauty sponge to tap this whole product on her face. So all you need to do is to tap so that the makeup can last long and so that you can have a very clean and a beautiful look. You can see how that sat properly on her face. Next up, I went in with classic concealer, and I went in with a shade that is about 2 to 3 tones lighter than that of her skin tone, and I just applied this underneath her eyes and basically tapped. So what you have to do is, when you come underneath the eyes, because the eyes are really sensitive, the skin under the eyes are really sensitive, you need to take your time to apply the concealer just so that it doesn't crease. And at every point where it creases, you need to go back in and tap before you go in with anything matte like powder or setting powder, whichever one that you're going to use. So at every point you apply liquid on the face, go back in and tap before you apply your powder or your settings or your setting powder. It's just going to give you a cleaner look, and as a makeup artist you need very clean looks. So I went in with the concealer for the second time, and then I just applied this and basically tapped the products into her face because I needed this particular area to be really highlighted. I wanted these areas to pop. The T-zone areas, I wanted them to pop. So I went in with the concealer for the second time just to coat it, just so that the makeup will be more secure and so that it will last longer. So I basically just tapped those products on her face. At this point, I went in with a darker shade of foundation just to contour her nose and just so that the nose will be more pointed, you want it a bit more pointy. So I went in with contour by the sides of her nose like this, and then I blended everything out properly. Next up, just to chisel that area properly and for that area to be more defined, I had to go in with my concealer again, just a little amount of it, and then I tapped the concealer on the sides of the nose like this, just so that I can have that demarcation between the darker part of her nose and the brighter part of her nose. I wanted it to be more obvious. So once that was done, I went in with my V Beauty powder palette. So in the areas where it looked like her face looked more like her neck, I went in with that exact shade of powder, which is the contour areas. And in the areas that were highlighted, I went in with a lighter shade of powder, which is basically the shade of powder that matched the shade of concealer that I used all over her face, and then the shade of powder that matched the shade of foundation that I used all over her face. And all I did was to tap the product on the face. So I went ahead and contoured with my powder still, because that area was still wet. So whichever area that you have on the face that is still wet, you need to make sure it's matte by applying your powder, and by tapping the powder on the face, make sure that you do not drag. I really cannot overemphasize on this. At this point, I needed the face to be more colorful, so I went in with a powdered blush, and then I went in with this orange and pink shade of my powder blush, and I applied this on the cheekbone and then towards her forehead area, as you can see me do in the video. And then I also applied on her nose, just so that I can have that really nice blushy effect. And then at this point, I went in with my setting powder, and then I just applied this on her T-zone area, just so that it can absorb all the moisture on her face, and just so that the face can bake properly, like it can set properly. So I applied this underneath the eyes, the forehead, the jaw, and also on the nose. And these are basically areas that she can easily sweat. And then I allowed this to stay for over 20 minutes, because this is a bridal makeup and everything that you're doing has to be done with precision, and you need time to achieve a good makeup. So once that was done, I had to chisel out the areas that were not highlighted, and then I contoured those areas just so that it can look more defined. At this point, guys, I went in with my powder, and before this I had already applied an eyelash glue. I did this so that I could set the brow properly, and so that the brow would be easier for me to draw on before I went in with my powder. So all I did next was to draw a thin line underneath her brow, and another thin line to meet with a thin line underneath the brow, and then I filled up the area that you can see that is white with powder. I filled it up. I just drew thin like strokes on her brow, and I basically just repeated the same process on the other brow. Most times when people look at your makeup, it's the brow that attracts them first. So you need to take your time and achieve a very nice brow, and your brows need to look the same, like they need to look the same. So take your time in achieving it, in drawing your brow and concealing properly. So at this point, I concealed with the same concealer that I had used underneath her eyes. I concealed with it, which is the classic concealer, just so that I could highlight underneath the brow. And then for the inner corner of the brow, I went in with a lighter shade of foundation as well. And once that was done, I blended everything on the crease area and the transition area of her eyes like this. So for the top of the brow, I used her exact shade of foundation, just so that there is no disparity between the shade of foundation and powder that I had initially used on the forehead and the shade of foundation on the brow, just so that everything blends properly. So I went ahead and blended everything, and this was what the brow looked like. So once I was done, I made sure that I repeated the same process on the other brow, and this was what I got. So I went in with my benign eye primer. This is like the best in the market, guys. This is like the best in the market. So I tapped the benign product on her crease area and towards her transition area like this, and basically just blended everything out properly. And then I went in with a purple shade of eyeshadow towards the outer corner of her crease area like this, and then blended it towards the inner corner of her crease area. So I needed that depth on the face, so I went in with a darker shade as well. But whatever I did on one side of the eyes, I repeated on the other side of the eyes, just so that it can give me a balance. And then for the transition area, I went in with an orange shade of shadow, just so that it can give me a more natural look at the top right there. And then I went in with a darker shade of purple on the crease area, just so that it can give me depth and it can give me like definition at the outer corner of the crease area like this. Is actually going to make the eyes look bold and bigger. So I repeated the same process on the other side of the eye. Once that was done, I went in with my eye primer again on the crease area. I just tapped the product on the crease area like this, and once that was done, I went in with a nude shade of eyeshadow. I basically tapped two nude shades together, and I achieved this since it was a bridal makeup. So at this point, guys, I went ahead with my Carite eyeliner, the black shade, to line her eyes properly, just so that they can look bigger, because as you can see, she doesn't really have big eyes. So I went in with my eyeliner to give the eyes definition and to make them look brighter and bigger. And then I went in with my Nuban Sorosoke mascara, just so that the excess eyeshadow that must have fallen on her eyes would go off. So I just used the mascara to clean her natural lashes like this. And then I went in with pigment, a pink shade of pigment. All I did was to spray my aloe vera setting spray on my brush, and then I dipped into the pigment and applied it on her eyes. This is going to allow the pigment to last longer on the eyes, and it's not going to fall off. So guys, at this point I went ahead and applied her lashes. So once you discover, before you apply lashes, you need to make sure that it fits the frame of your model's eye or your client's eye. So if the lashes are too wide, you need to make sure that you cut them so that it fits the frame of the eyes of your clients properly. So I went ahead and dusted all of the excess setting powder from her face, went in with a little bit of blush again to give me that blushy nice effect. And then before I went ahead to do her lips, I had to apply the setting powder again for the second time. This is just going to secure the makeup more and absorb the moisture again. So I went ahead to apply the setting powder again. I applied moisturizer on the lips. This is just a lip balm. I had to moisturize the lips first before going ahead to line it. So I went in with a brown shade of lippy, and I just defined the outer corner of her lip and the lower area of her lip like this. And once that was done, I went in with nude shades. Because it's a bridal makeup, you need everything to be as subtle and clean as possible. So I went in with this nude shade, and then I went in with an orange shade of lippy like this, blended everything properly. I wasn't still okay with what I had, so I went in with a brighter shade of nude again. I basically was just applying different shades of nudes and making sure that there was no crack on her lip, and making sure that it actually fits her frame, like the face, making sure that everything looks really good. So I blended everything out properly with my blending lip brush, and then I went in with gloss because of course it's a bridal makeup. I needed everything to glow, although this step is actually not compulsory. So at this point, I went ahead to dust the excess setting powder on her face, used my beauty blender to tap those products into her skin properly, and this was basically what I had, guys, and I loved every bit of it. So I went ahead and lined the lower part of her eyes, just so that the eyes can look bigger and brighter, just to give it more definition. And then I added a little wing liner towards the outer corner of the eyes like this, and it looked good. So once I was done, this was what it looked like. And then for the lower part of her lashes, I went in with my mascara again, just so that everything looks good. And then I needed the face to glow, so I went in with a gold shade of pigment on the cheekbone area like this, and underneath the brow I applied the gold shade of pigment again at the forehead, the jaw, and the nose, just so that the face can give me a really nice glowy effect. At this point, I went in with my aloe vera setting spray again, just so that the makeup can last long. And then I went in with my Sealit fixing spray. This is going to enable the makeup to last for the whole day, and since it's a bridal makeup, this is actually what you want to achieve. So I applied that on her face like this, and you can see that glow on her face. You can see how everything looks so nice on her face. So this was basically the point where the hairstylist came to style her hair, and I had another job and I had to leave, guys. But this was what the makeup looked like. It looked so good on her face and far off from what we started with. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do hope that it was helpful. If it was, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, like and share, and also comment in the comment section below. Thank you all so much. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.